What's up, everyone? We're doing an old-fashioned deck profile while I'm in the lounge between here and Australia. Heading to Australia next. If you guys didn't know, this weekend I did play a fun little guy, Cloak. So I'm going to talk about why I played this deck and why it's really good. So Cloak in general seems pretty aggressive off the rip. I saw that Richard and some of his friends made day 2 with it in Sacramento. The deck seemed really cool, and I wanted to kind of talk through his brain about it. So if you guys want to check out Richard Yano on Twitter, really helpful. Answered a ton of questions for me. I didn't have a ton of time to play Pokemon between Sacramento and this weekend in Stuttgart, so I decided I'm going to just send this deck. The matchups seem really, really good for it. We've got a couple of bad matchups, and I figured that out throughout the day as I went as well. Like Clef Key is a really bad card for you. Any deck that can really counter catch your Pheasantipity, maybe bump your Stadium and Iono at the same time. Like same thing, like kind of thing, just general bad. So like just stuff like that just kind of feels bad, but otherwise it's like fine for the most part. Like I think every other matchup was kind of fine. So I'll go through my matchups. I'll go through the list that I played. So I played 2 Cloth, 2 Trapgos. So both these are just your main attackers. Like the Cloth does a ton of damage and a lot of stuff. Trapgos does a ton of damage to the big guys. And combined, you can basically punch through any V-Star attacker or whatever. And the poison tick actually kills them coming back into your turn, going into their turn. So Pheasantipity can't proc in a lot of matchups, which is really huge. 2 Petra and promo to go for the dogs, so just take a turn 1 KO on something small. Just get the prize lead against stuff like Charizard, Lost Box decks like those. 2 Boop on it, actually probably one of the most important cards in the deck, if not the most important. Some of my opponents started chasing down the bottom to go for the tools. They got really annoying for me. Sneasler at plus 20. Oranguru is super broken, just gets the 2 tools, basically becomes a Seal Stone plus the Capsule or Mochi. I played a bundle because bundle's super good against Drago and Nico Kutra or Clef for turn 1, and then you can just go around it and then look for bosses to end the game. That was my logic, and it did work out where it should. Squawk just broken for turn 1. Latias for draw, or not draw, but pivoting. Fez for draw. Patch is really good because it auto-wins Snorlax, and also you get put in a position where against control they're going to try to solve block you and do other weird stuff, so you have this to just move your guys around a lot easier to make 2 matchups significantly better with 1 card. Electrode for Zard and Hydreigon. Probably don't really need this if you don't expect Zard, but Zard did just get first second, so you might need this. Luminian, supporter, obviously. Ursaluna to end the game. It's not really a necessary card a lot of the time, but when it wins games, it wins games, because you can get to 3-10 if they're taking 5 prize cards with Mochi and Poison. So it's like a perfect number to hit some pretty big targets at the end of the game. Supporter-wise, we've got 3 Arven, 3 Boss, and then Iono Research, Carmine, and Color's Tenacity. The Carmine could be anything else really, but it was just to give ourselves some additional boost on turn 1 to potentially dig deeper and maybe find a donk or just keep going on turn 1. But otherwise, I think the every other supporter was really good. 4 Nestball, Nestball's just broken. It gets you Squawk, gets you whatever, Oranguru. 4 Stadium, because you do need to find the Stadium on the turn. You need it with Trapgos to start going. 2 Heavy Ball and 2 Ultra Ball. I think the Heavy Balls are super good because you have so many Pokemon that you have a pretty high chance of prizing something you need. And like you play one-ups with so many things like Latias, like everything across the board, so you just want to get that. 3 Booster Capsule, just really important. 3 Mochi, you don't need 3, but having 3 just accelerates your game plan. 3 Stretcher, really good. You discard a lot of stuff. Your bench could get popped by a Stadium. You discard stuff to get it back. 2 Switch Card, just makes math easier when people try to cure you, stuff like that. 2 Seal Stone, I think you can go to 1, but I think this is so important, so you can just go Seal Stone into Trolley on early turns, or just like play the game that way, and Trolley's so broken, and you can just get a full board, call it a day, everything is good. Glasses is the package with the Electrode, so if you cut the Electrode, you can cut the Glasses, try to play around something different for Zard maybe, and then Vacuum was super good to just bump Stadium. And then 4 DT is my only energy, so I've been down this road before. Round 1, I ended up hitting a, I forgot what I hit round 1, low-key. But my opponent didn't really know what was happening, and it was like a Palkia, Greninja deck, but they had no like Noctowl engine. It was just like Palkia Greninja, Faz Pokestop engine, And on turn one, I just went for like a Petch KO, and I got the Petch KO. And my opponent went to go draw with Fez, and I'm like, you can't draw. But they didn't speak any English, so we had to stop and get a translator. And they just had it in bricked hand game one off that. And then game two, I took 2 knockouts with my Petch before anything even happened. And it didn't matter when they got their first attacker up, because I could just start swinging for a ton of damage, and they couldn't come back from that. 1-0. Until I hit a Zard, I end up losing game one barely, because I just can't cross the final hurdle of the final knockout. And I just don't have counterplay at the very end around Dusknoir plus Radzard, or like Dusknoir plus Briar. And I just end up putting myself in a bad situation with like a mid-game brick. But then games 2 and 3, game 2 I end up getting the Donk. And then game 3 I end up getting, they choose to go second, which is interesting. So I get 2 KOs before the game even starts. And then I go Glasses Dude to kill the Charizard. And then they get the response KO, and then I end up having the Gust on the Pidgeot for game. Because they couldn't do it with Stamp, or I don't know, they played they played Stamp, but because I did it with Poison, they couldn't get where they needed to be. And then the following round, I hit Sacrilege on stream, where I played really, really poorly. I don't know, I was just tired, and the nerves hit me a little bit, and I played really bad. But I ended up getting really lucky game 3, because I ended up finding the out to the Clef Key, and I just kind of sacked him. So I got super lucky there. And then round 4, I ended up hitting I'm trying not to get my rounds mixed up because I know how 4 and 5 went. 4, I end up hitting like a Roaring Moon Ancient Box deck. Like, it's got pieces of Moon in it, but it's more so an Ancient Box deck, which is a really bad matchup for this deck because you just can't deal with the 1 prize trades, and eventually Countercatcher just outraces you. Game 1, he ends up beating me, just like with the babies. Like, he just gets the babies up and running. Game 2, I take the first KO on a 2-prizer, and then I'm off to the races because he doesn't respond to the KO back onto me, so then I can go Terrapagos, pop his little 1-prizer. I'm up 3 prize cards, he kills my Terrapagos. I end up killing another 1-prizer, he takes another 2, and then there was a 2-prizer on board. I think it was a Petra or a Fez. I just boss killed that. And then the third game, he full bricked. Like, opened Baby Koraidon, he upped in second, opened Baby Koraidon. I went Poison for, I think, 6 damage counters, not the full 8. Or it might have been the full 8, I don't know. And then he goes Nest Ball for Greninja, draws 2 passes, and the Koraidon gets knocked out coming back into my turn. And I was just like, okay, knockout with Cloak. And he like showed me his hand, it was like 4 energy, like Palpad, like some, like just all bad cards. So I ended up getting really lucky because that matchup is really, really bad. And so I ended up going to 4-0. Round 5, I hit my first Snorlax, and I donked my opponent's Mimikyu game 1, and then he just goes, are you playing Petra and EX? And I just showed him the Petra and EX, and he's like, yeah, I'm not playing this set. So he concedes the whole set, because the matchup is unwinnable. So I'm now 5-0. And then I hit Control. I hit Control where, like, I have, like, theorized this matchup in my head, and I feel like it's really bad for me. And then game 1, I just, like, start blowing him out of the water. I'm just taking a bunch of knockouts. And then he makes, like, a pretty interesting play where he goes into the Sob to try to Sob block me, because I never benched Petra in game 1, but I didn't fill my bench. So I just go get the Petra from my deck, and I can do this, I can pull up my, like, little, like, Bonnet or something, and then Fear Shoot with Latias. I just blow him up, and the game ends. The second game, I end up taking the first knockout instantly with the Patch KO, and then he goes into Thornton Noibat after like letting me basically take like 2 more knockouts. I think I was out to 3 prize cards. He goes Thornton Noibat, and then I go Poison for 8. So it goes 8, 16, 8, 16, and he's down on 50 to me. 24 back. I put another Patch on my bench. He KOs it with the Covert Fight. I promote the other Patch. He goes to 30. I go Arden Vacuum, and then I just end the game with like a Cloth attack. And yeah, like the Noivern strategy just doesn't work unless you have like Lost City or something as well. So I end up moving out to 6-0, and I'm feeling pretty good. I hit my first mirror, which is Jesper, and I get super unlucky. I lose the flip to start, and so I end up losing game 1. I end up winning game 2 on Bear play. Then you get game 3, Jesper's playing kind of poorly, but I just can't find like a mid-game boss to like punish him. And that ends up losing the set in mirror. So I couldn't really figure out how to play the mirror while I was playing it. I still don't think I have a great idea. I think it's just go second, try to take 2 prizes immediately. But I'm not entirely sure, so I just did that. And like you always promote Bonnet and stuff just to pre-poison and stuff, just because it's hard for them to play around that. And then round 8, I hit a Gardevoir, and then both games, I really had a hard time getting around Klefki, and both games he opened something that couldn't be donked or like damaged by Patch. He opened Radiant Greninja both games, which was super annoying because that deck has so many small guys. Like, it's got Ralts, it's got Screamtail, it's got Drifloon, it's got so many small guys that I can just take a knockout on instantly. So it just set me back like one turn both games, and I was like a turn away from winning both games. Game 3, the Clef Key was just really, really hard to like play around, and I couldn't do anything. Like, I was just like, this feels kind of unplayable. So I go to 6-2. Next day I come back, round 1 I hit I hit Drago. Game 1 I end up it's a closely competitive game, and he ends up using the Kyurem attack. I end up using Switch Card to get out of it, the 3 prize turn, or the 6 prize turn or whatever, and the Switch Card basically just bails me out and sets up game via just poison knockouts and like attacking into the Drago, because he had to use V-Star to set up the attacks for the game. And then game 2 I end up hitting, I end up opening Oranguru, and I had like the most insane broken start where I get like the trolley cloth KO on a little, like on an Overpond that he gives me for the bundle. And then so I go cool cloth KO with poison, then he goes like promote Cleffa, like doesn't have anything attached to Drago, and I was just like, alright, boss again, kill with cloth. Attached to like Drapagos, like the game's over now at this point. So absolutely clean the clock on that one. But then I get instantly punished by Karma in the next round by hitting Drago again. In the first game, he ends up vacuuming my booster capsule as like a Hail Mary, and doesn't Gudra. He just goes for that play, and like he goes like Phantom Dive to try to set up game in 2 attacks. And if I have Mochi, I just can't lose because I can just go Drapagos, blow up the Drago. In my like 9-card hand, I just don't have access to an Arven or a tool, and I'm just like looking at my hand, and I'm like, I can retreat into Guru, but I have no way to get back into the active because I don't have a Switch Card, I don't have an Arven or anything. I'm just looking at my hand, and I'm like, and so I just have to hit, and then he just goes Kyurem for game, which is really like unfortunate. And then, and also like I could have a vacuum or something, like bump my own stadium, like nothing to get out of that situation. And then the second game, he opens Cleffa, so I'm like, yes, I have the Cleffa Donk. I go Squawk, Luminion, Carmine, get everything on board besides the tool, because all I need is Sneasler and Brew Bonnet tool. I miss, and then he goes research away a bunch of resources, and then gets the turn to Phantom Dive off still somehow. And then I end up, he goes Phantom Dive, kill my, or he like ends up, I think just damaging, no, it was just, yeah, he basically sets up a game in 2 turns, because he just Kyurems, because I benched Squawky and Luminion. So it just like sucks that I can't do anything about that, because I missed the donk, and I dug so deep for it. So that's a little bit on me, but can't really do much there. Next round I had Lost Box. Game 1 against Peter, I end up, basically he goes for a Greninja play to go 99, or no, game 1 it's just like a back and forth slugfest that I end up taking at the very end because he's looking for Rod plus Vacuum to get rid of my 2 on my Brew Bonnet, and then KO that with Sableye, and he ends up whiffing that at the very end of the game because he didn't think I played Iono. And then game 2, he goes for a Greninja play, goes 99 on my Luminion Squawk on turn 1. Or not turn 1, but like a couple turns into the game, and I end up going Vacuum, getting rid of my Stadium, getting rid of those 2 in Oranguru, and then I basically end up having like a pretty 1-pricey board, and I just take like my 3rd knockout, I think it was, with Cloth at this point. I think I took 2 with Patch and then 1 with Cloth now. So now I'm up 3 prize cards to like his 1 that he's taken so far, and the prize rate's like significantly in my favor, and he goes for like a Roxanne play, but doesn't find the attack off the Roxanne play. I think he does. I think it's a Cram knockout, and then I just go Terapagos KO, and then like the game is like basically over because I have a Cloth with the energy on it too. So anything he does, I can just go Poison, Cloth KO, because his attackers left are like hands, Ursaluna or Pikachu, so it's like the perfect attacker response. So now I'm 8-3, potentially win in 32. Find out it's definitely not going to be later on because of how many 28 match blunders they ended up being. But I end up hitting our Chaladons, Ethan, my fellow Lugia brother in arms, awesome dude, love Ethan. He's playing our Chaladon. I realized how bad of a matchup it is. I got pretty lucky game 1. I end up winning the game because he ends up whiffing like boss for way too many turns, and he like uses Pokestop and hits 2 boss, and I'm like, oh my god, I have a chance. Game 2, I have no chance. I just absolutely get smoked where like our Chaladon's just really annoying because there's nothing I can like out poison. He can evolve. He played Scramble Switch too, so he can pivot around. He played Starmie, so he can pop my Terapagos even if I don't poison myself. Like all these small things that he played in this list were really good into me. And then game 3, same thing, right? Like I end up getting down to like 2 prize cards remaining, but I never had a clear route to take those 2 prize cards. So even though I was down to 2 prize cards, like make myself feel better. Like he had 2 Archaladons like fully powered up and like a Greninja on the board. So like it's not like I was ever getting through the Archaladons. Like even if I hit with like Terapagos into 1, I'm never killing that. Like, I just lose the game, you know? Like, so it just was a pretty demoralizing loss there into that matchup. It's a really bad matchup. And so my Cloak adventure ends with top 128. Once again, another 8-4 finish. It gotta really stop going 8-4. Like, my records this season have been 11-1-1 in the top cut, 11-1 in the top cut, 8-4 in Louisville, 2-3 drop in Gdansk, 8-4 at LAIC, 5-3 at Sacramento, and then 8-4 again here. So I went from having like the most incredibly hot season to start into like an 8-4 machine, which has been kind of unfortunate. But I do feel like the difference between 8-4 and like 9-3 or 10-2 is just a little bit about matchups and luck, especially in this new system. So really enjoyed this deck. I will not be playing it again coming up this weekend for sure. Cloak is off my radar. Too many people know about it. They performed very well. But we'll see what happens from here. We'll find a deck while I'm on my way to Perth. Thank you guys for watching. As always, please like and subscribe for more continued. I wouldn't say it's a meme deck, but I'm not a Lugia one trick anymore. So you guys can stop saying that. I'm trying something else.